It is the great love the general gender bear him, who dipping all his faults in their affection worked like the spring that turneth wood to stone. Convert his gyves to graces, so that my arrows too slightly timbered for so would have reverted to my bow again, but not where I've aimed them. Our beard be shook with danger, and think it past time. You surely shall hear more. I love your father, and we love ourselves. That I hope will teach you to imagine. How now, what news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. These to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not. They were given me by Claudio. He received them of him that brought them.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, what should this mean? Are all the rest come back, or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked, and in a postscript here he says alone.
I am lost in it, my lord, but let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I shall live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, and how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord, so you will not overrule me to a peace.
To thine own peace. If he be now returned as checking at his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit now ripe in my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it an accident.
My lord, I will be ruled, the rather if you could devise it, so that I might be the organ.
If fall's right, you have been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing, for equality wherein they say you shine. Your sum of parts did not together pluck such envy from him, as did that one, and that in my regard of the unworthiest siege.
What part is that, my lord?
A very ribbon in the cap of youth, yet needful too, for youth no less becomes the light and careless livery that it wears. Then settled age, his sables and his weeds, importing health and graveness. 2 months since, he was a gentleman of Normandy. I have seen myself and served against the French, and they can well on horseback, but this gallant had witchcraft in it. He grew unto his seat, and to such wondrous doing brought his horse, as he had been encorpsed and demi-natured with the brave beast. So far he topped my thought that I, in forgery of shapes and tricks, come short of what he did.
A Norman, was it?
A Norman.
Upon my life, Lamord?
The very same.
I know him well. He is the brooch indeed, and gem of all the nations.
He made confession of you and gave you such a masterly report, for art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier most especial, that he cried out, 'Twould be a sight indeed if one could match you. The scrimmers of their nation, he swore had neither motion, guard nor eye. If you oppose him, sir, this report of his, did Hamlet so envenom with his envy that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming over to play with you. Now out of this.
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, Was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of his sorrow, a face without a heart?
What asked you this?
Not that I think you do not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof, time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within the very flame of love a kind of wick or snuff that will abate it, and nothing is at a like goodness still, for goodness growing to a pleurisy, dies and is owned too much, that we would do, we should do when we would. For this wood changes and hath abatements and delays as many as there are tongues and hands and accidents. And then the should is like a spendthrift sigh that hurts by easing, but to the quick of thy ulcer. Hamlet, come back. What would you undertake to show yourself indeed your father's son more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church? I will do it! And for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal that but a dip knife in it, where it draws blood, no cataplasm, so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue under the moon, can save the thing from death. That is scratched withdrawal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that if I gough him slightly, it may lead to death.
Go.
One woe doth tread upon another's heels, so fast they follow. Your sisters drowned Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, where?
That shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. Therewith fantastic garlands did she make, of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples. The liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead man's fingers call them. There on the pendant bows her coronet weeds, clamoring to hang, an envious silver broke, when down her weedy trophies, and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like, awhile they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old lauds, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be till that her garments heavy with their drink pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears, but yet it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will, then these are gone. The women will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have speech, O fire, on the fire that fain would blaze, but that this fully drowns it. I can't believe she's dead.
Let's follow Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.